In this video we're going to talk about prepositions and conjunctions. This refers to Units 9 and 10 of MyEnglish 7. So let's have a look at prepositions. A preposition is used to link either a noun or a pronoun to another word in a sentence. And the thing that they show us is how these things relate to each other either in space or in time. They tell us when, where, or how something happens. If we look at a couple of prepositions of space, it floated above the ground. The preposition in that sentence is above, and it tells us the way that it, whatever it might be, floats in relation to the ground. Or if we were at the swimming pool, the preposition in that sentence is the word at, and it tells us how we and the swimming pool relate to one another. We were at the swimming pool. Prepositions can also tell us how things relate in time. If we arrived after the others, the preposition is the word after. It tells us how we and the others relate in time. The others got there first and we arrived after them. Or if Susie left during the meal, that tells us how Susie leaving relates to the meal. That Susie left during the meal. So the preposition of time is during. Some common prepositions are listed in this table for you. And you can look through that list and you can see how those words would be used to tell us how things either relate to each other in space or in time. So something like until. We played cricket until it was dark. Tells us how we're playing cricket and dark relate to one another. Or over. The bridge went over the river. One of the things that you need to know about prepositions is it's been a traditional rule of grammar that in formal writing or informal speech, you shouldn't end with a preposition. So instead of saying something like, what do we owe this honour to? We would have to say, to what do we owe this honour? You can see that that's much more formal than what do we owe this honour to? Or if we were to say something like, who are we going with? That would make sense, and it's usually the way that we would speak in conversation, or it's probably the way that we would write as well. In formal grammar, we should actually say, with whom are we going? Now that's much too formal for everyday use, but it's good to know that that's the traditional rule of grammar, that you wouldn't end a sentence with a preposition. Alright, let's talk about conjunctions now. Conjunctions are used to join individual words or groups of words, parts of a sentence together. They can link ideas together, or they can join items to make a longer list. Some common simple conjunctions are given in the list for you here. And is the most common, used to add another thing to a list that you're talking about, or to join two different parts of a sentence together. But, for, nor, or, so, yet, all of these are conjunctions, and they're used to, as I said, link individual words together or parts of a sentence. Conjunctions can join words of the same part of speech. If, for example, we said, we like cricket and soccer. Cricket and soccer are both nouns, and they're joined by the conjunction and. Or if we ask the question, is that sandwich mine or yours? Mine and yours are both pronouns, and they're joined by the conjunction or. Conjunctions can also join phrases which are the same type. If we had a sentence that said, Imogen came without a toothbrush and without pyjamas. The conjunction and joins the two phrases, without a toothbrush, without pyjamas. So we know that Imogen came without both of these things, and that they're phrases that are of the same type that are joined by the conjunction and. But conjunctions don't only join things, they can also give more information about reason, place, time, or order of events. If we had a clause phrase that said, we were tired, but we wanted to give more information about why we were tired, we could say, we were tired because we'd been out all day. In this case, the conjunction because not only joins those two things together, but it tells us how they relate to one another. The second is the reason for the first. Or if we said, the local pool is crowded when it is summer holidays. We have two bits of information. It is the summer holidays and the local pool is crowded, and they're joined by the conjunction when. And again, that conjunction doesn't only join those two parts of the sentence, it tells us how they relate to one another. The second part is the cause of the first. Now, conjunctions are mostly used in the middle of a sentence, but not always. If we've got a conjunction that tells how two parts of a sentence relate to one another, such as even though or although, often that type of conjunction will start at the start of a sentence. Regardless of where the conjunction is, a conjunction will always be used to join either two words or two different parts of a sentence together.